Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamutire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. So today we'll try to cover the theme of Srimad Bhagavatam. I sent the verses yesterday, text number 4 to text number 11. So text 4, Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, first chapter, text 4. Namishe animeshe tre reshya shonakadaya satram sargaya lokaya sahasrasam masata. Translation. Once in a holy place in the forest of Naimisharanya, great sages held by the sage Shaunak assembled to perform a great 1,000-year sacrifice for the satisfaction of the Lord and his devotees. So Prabhupada is writing, the prelude of the Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken in the previous 3 shlokas. Now the main topic of this great teacher is being presented. Srimad Bhagavatam, after its first recitation by Srila Shukdev Goswami, was repeated for the second time at Naimisharanya in this day and age. But otherwise, Srimad Bhagavatam is there since the beginning of creation. So Sut Goswami, who's going to speak at Naimisharanya, he was there when Shukdev Goswami spoke Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. So that was also one of the reasons Sut Goswami was chosen at Naimisharanya to be the speaker. And why Naimisharanya? Prabhupada says, in the Vayavya Tantra, it is said that Brahma, the engineer of this particular universe, contemplated a great wheel which could enclose the universe. The hub of this great circle was fixed at a particular place known as Naimisharanya. Similarly, there is another reference to the forest of Naimisharanya in the Varaha Puran, where it is stated that by performance of sacrifice at this place, the strength of demoniac people is curtailed. Thus, Brahmanas prefer Naimisharanya for such sacrificial performances. So, it is said that Naimisharanya is the hub of the material universe. So, that is the place. That's why this sacrifice, all these rishis were assembled together to perform a sacrifice, and that sacrifice was supposed to go on for 1,000 years. And this happened towards the beginning of Kali Yuga. And in the verse, it comes that why they wanted to perform the sacrifice? Because it's good for the people in general. So these people, these sages, they didn't want to perform the sacrifice for their benefit. Generally, people do the sacrifice, they do this havan, they do this yajna. For what? So they themselves get something in return. Either they get good power, good position, money, or better wife, or better kids, whatever. But this wasn't the reason these rishis got together to perform a 1,000-year sacrifice. They were anxious to do good for the people in general. So Prabhupada is writing, the great sages are always anxious to do good to the people in general, and as such the sages, headed by Shaunak and others, assembled at this holy place of Naimisharanya with the program of performing a great and continuous chain of sacrificial ceremonies. And here Prabhupada writes, Lord Vishnu is just like a great tree, and all others, including the demigods, men, siddhas, charan, vidyadhars, and all of the living entities are like branches, twigs, and leaves of that tree. By pouring water on the root of the tree, all the parts of the tree are automatically nourished. Only those branches and leaves which are detached cannot be satisfied. Detached branches and leaves dry up gradually despite all watering attempts. Similarly, human society, when it is detached from the personality of Godhead, like detached branches and leaves, is not capable of being watered, and one attempting to do so is simply wasting his energy and resources. So this sacrifice they wanted to perform for the pleasure or for the satisfaction of the Lord and his devotees. And Prabhupada is writing nicely here. So Krishna is like the root of the tree, and the tree consists of all the living entities. But those people who are detached from Krishna or who are not connected with Krishna, they will not get watered by if we water the root of that tree. So those detached leaves and branches dry up gradually. Means if we are attached to Krishna and his devotees in some way or the other, we will get our nourishment. But in the last paragraph, Prabhupada is writing, in this age, the congregational chanting of the holy names of the Lord is a prescribed method for waking up. The ways and means are most scientifically presented by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and intelligent persons may take advantage of his teachings in order to bring about real peace and prosperity. Srimad Bhagavatam is also presented for the same purpose, and this will be explained more specifically later in the text. So Bhagavatam is also presented for how to bring about real peace and prosperity. And in Kali Yuga, Prabhupada is explaining the Harinam Sankirtan, that is the ultimate process of bringing about peace and prosperity. In fact, when we study this whole Srimad Bhagavatam, throughout it, Krishna's name, Krishna's pastimes are glorified. And the very last verse of Srimad Bhagavatam is, and it is said, only by chanting of the holy names, all these things can be achieved. And that's why it is said, where Srimad Bhagavatam ends, that's where Chaitanya Charitamrita starts. Chaitanya Charitamrita is throughout and throughout it's about the chanting of the holy names. So text 5. Ta ekda tu munya pratur utagneya tatkritam sutamasinam paprachur idamadarat. One day, after finishing their morning duties by burning a sacrificial fire and offering a seat of esteem to Srila Sutta Goswami, the great sages made inquiries with great respect about the following matters. I'm going to mute you all, somebody. So in the morning, one day, means they were there assembled for 1,000 years. I mean, that also sounds very interesting, that how come all the sages were going to assemble and they're going to perform the sacrifice for 1,000 years, because hardly in Kali Yuga anybody lives for 100 years. But this we have to understand, these were the sages, they were coming from Dwapar Yuga. In Dwapar Yuga, the age was 1,000 years. Dwapar Yuga, the age was 1,000 years, so they could perform, and sages could live longer than that. But one day, what happened? After finishing their morning duties and burning sacrificial fire and offering a seat to Srila Sutta Goswamis, these great sages, with great respect, they started inquiring about the following matters. Prabhupada is writing, morning is the best time to hold spiritual services. So that is the best time. But these days, with our different lifestyle, and many times people are working at night, they have night shift. So morning time, most of the people are sleeping. But if we can get up early in the morning and perform our spiritual practices, that will be very good. So they inquired from him with great respect. Even the sages had great respect for Srila Suta Goswami, and they were going to inquire him for the following matters. Rishya uchuhu tvaya khalu puranani setihasani chanaga akhyatani api aditani dharma shastrani yani uta. The sages said, respected Suta Goswami, you're completely free from all vice. You're well versed in all the scriptures famous for religious life, and in the Puranas and the histories as well, for you have gone through them under proper guidance and also explained them. So this is the first quality of a speaker, means completely free from all vice. Prabhupada is writing, a Goswami or the bona fide representative of Shiv Vyasadeva must be free from all kinds of vices. The four major vices are illicit connection with women, animal slaughter, intoxication, and speculative gambling of all sorts. A Goswami must be free from all these vices before he can dare sit on the Vyasasana. No one should be allowed to sit on the Vyasasana who is not spotless in character and who is not freed from the above mentioned vices. So I have to admit, I am not free from these vices. I have many more than these four vices that Prabhupada is mentioning here. So actually, I'm not qualified. I'm admitting that. I'm not qualified to sit and speak on Srimad Bhagavatam. But since it's the order of Srila Prabhupada and it's the blessings of you all, that I'm sitting here and trying to speak on Srimad Bhagavatam. Otherwise, I have no qualification whatsoever. And then not only free from vices, then other qualifications are, they said, you are very well versed in all the scriptures famous for religious life and in the Puranas and histories as well. So not only free from all these issues, but the person should be very well versed, very much expert in the scriptures. Maybe he doesn't know all the scriptures by heart, maybe he doesn't know all the shlokas by heart, but at least he should know the import of the scriptures. At least he should know the essence of all the scriptures. Then he is qualified to sit on the Vyasasana and speak on Srimad Bhagavatam. And also they said, and you have gone through them under proper guidance. Means a person sitting on Vyasasana, speak on Srimad Bhagavatam, should not just speak out of his whims and fancies. He should come under a proper disciplic succession. He should understand or realize his truth, serving his guru, and then he should be able to give it out to others. So different qualifications are there for a person who can speak on Srimad Bhagavatam or any other scripture for that matter. That's the last line of Purport Prabhupada writing. Only one who has properly grasped the transcendental knowledge from the right source by submissive hearing can properly explain the subject. Text 7. Yani vedvidam shreshto bhagwan badarayana anyacha munya suta paravar vido viduhu. Being the eldest learned Vedantist, O Suta Goswami, you are acquainted with the knowledge of Vyasadeva, who is the incarnation of Godhead. And you also know other sages who are fully versed in all kinds of physical and metaphysical knowledge. So they're trying to tell Suta Goswami that you are the perfect person, you're the perfect teacher who can teach us Bhagavatam, or who can answer our questions, and they're trying to tell him that this is how you're qualified. Srimad Bhagavatam is a natural commentation on the Brahma Sutra or the Badrayani Vedanta Sutra. Badrayani is the name for Vedvyas because he sat in Badrinath or Badrika Ashram and he wrote Srimad Bhagavatam. It is called natural because Vyasadeva is the author of both the Vedanta Sutras and Srimad Bhagavatam, or the essence of all Vedic literatures. Besides Vyasadeva, there are other sages who are the authors of 6 different philosophical systems, namely Gautam, Kanad, Kapil, Patanjali, Jaimini, and Ashtavakra. So 6 different philosophical systems are there. Prabhupada has mentioned some places in Bhagavatam, so whenever we come across, we'll discuss. Vyasi, he gave these 6 different philosophical systems to these 6 different sages, that you all take care of these different parts, and he took care of the main part. Theism is explained completely in Vedanta Sutras, whereas in other systems of philosophical speculations, practically no mention is given to the ultimate cause of all causes. Srila Sutta Goswami was a proper teacher, and therefore the sages at Naimisharanya elevated him to the Vyasa Asana. Srila Vyasadeva is designated herein as a personality of Godhead because he is the authorized, empowered incarnation of Krishna himself. So Sutta Goswami was considered a proper teacher, so that's why sages selected him as the person who can answer their questions. Text 8. Vethatvam somya tat sarvam tat tattvas tat tad anugrihat bruyu snigdhasya shishyasya gurva guyam apiyuta. And because you are submissive, your spiritual masters have endowed you with all the favors bestowed upon a gentle disciple. Therefore, you can tell us that you have scientifically learned from them. And another quality of Sutta Goswami, although he had all this knowledge, he was free from all these faults, but at the same time, he was very humble and submissive. And because of his submission, he was endowed with all the favors from his spiritual masters. Prabhupada is writing that that's why Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has sung in his famous 8 stanzas on the spiritual masters, like we sing every morning. Yasya prasada bhagavad prasado, yasya prasada nagati kuto api. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master. Only by his satisfaction can one please the personality of Godhead. And when he is dissatisfied, there is only havoc on the path of spiritual realization. So only when the spiritual master is pleased, satisfied, a disciple can make progress. So it is essential, therefore, that a disciple be very much obedient, and submissive to the bona fide spiritual master. Srila Sutta Goswami fulfilled all these qualifications as a disciple, and therefore he was endowed with all favors by his learned and self-realized spiritual masters such as Srila Vyasadeva and others. Disciples of Srila Prabhupada and their further disciples, Srila Prabhupada, if you remember, 3 couples or 6 disciples he sent to London. And those disciples, he sent them to London in 1968 from America. In 68, we didn't even have our Bhagavad Gita that we read these days, but to speak of Srimad Bhagavatam and other literatures. Prabhupada had only one Bhagavad Gita, copy of Bhagavad Gita that was translated by Sarpalli Radhakrishnan, our president of India. And Prabhupada would take that Bhagavad Gita and he would preach. He said the translation is okay, but the commentaries are not. So what I'm trying to say is these 6 disciples of Prabhupada, 3 men and 3 ladies, they didn't have proper knowledge of the scriptures. And Prabhupada sent them to London to preach and to start the movement there. And it is so much in the beginning. But because they were fully surrendered to the order of Srila Prabhupada when they came to London, and if we ever get a chance to maybe speak to Shyam Sundar Prabhu or other devotees who are there, Malti Mataji, or read their memories, it's amazing how much hardships they went through. And Malti Mataji had a little daughter, Saraswati, at that time also. How many hardships they went through to establish the movement in London. And no books. So somehow they established, they preached to Beatles, George Harrison, and the movement really took off from there. So what I'm trying to say is, yes, the knowledge of scriptures is very important, but more important than that is the submissiveness to Guru. And if we are submissive or surrender to Guru means how how big a conductor we are for his message, for his mercy. Means if we have any resistance anywhere, then the message will not flow through us. Srila Prabhupada was fully surrendered to his Guru. His Guru asked him to go to West and preach. Although he got this order 42 years ago before he came to West and preached, but he still came to the West and preached and established the movement. So this is the real key in making progress in spiritual life. When one is surrendered, and surrender means when one has no inner resistance, no inner things that block the message and mercy of Guru to flow through him. So these 6 disciples of Prabhupada, they established the movement in London, and not just London. When they made George Harrison take out that album, it made Hare Krishna Mahamantra a household name all over the world, not just in London or Europe, all over the world, because that was a #1 album for so many weeks. So the point is, once we are surrendered, once we are conductive, we act as a conductor to the orders of a guru, then guru can do amazing things, can achieve amazing results through us. Srila Prabhupada, at the age of 70, he went and he started ISKCON. And for next 12 years, he went around and preached all over the world. He traveled all over the world, wrote so many books, 80 books. He initiated about 10,000 disciples. And he opened 108 temples, not just in one place, all over the world. And not just the temples, farmhouses, restaurants, and so many other projects, Gurukul. And basically, and he taught all his disciples everything from scratch. Everything. Well, how to chant, how to put on tilak. To ladies, he taught how to put on saris, how to cook. To men, how to put on dhotis. How to do accounting for the temples. How to, for the painters, he taught them how to paint. For the book editors, he taught them how to edit books, how to translate from Sanskrit. Everything he taught them. And that's how expert he was. And the reason why he was expert, and he himself said that because it's the mercy of my Guru Maharaj. And the mercy of Guru flows through us when we are fully conducive, fully conductive, when we have no resistance from inside. So this surrender means when we have no resistance. So any resistance based on philosophical resistance, based on our ego, based on our whatever conceptions inside, we try to remove them, and the Guru can speak through us. Guru can preach through us. Guru can make amazing achievements through us. And this is what Sudha Goswami's quality was. He was fully submissive, fully surrendered to the message of his Guru. So I'll stop here, only 5 minutes left, and ask anybody has any questions or comments. And we'll take up the next 3 verses tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
No, I don't have questions.
How about a comment?
No comments.
No comment.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances of glory to Srila Prabhupada. Since nobody is asking questions, so I am asking questions. So,
Okay.
Prabhuji, I just want to know a little bit more about what you said, like we should be completely have no resistance to Guru and it should be like completely conductive. So in the neophyte stage, like when we are struggling to the material life and going, like trying to be on the path of bhakti. So how do we like take all the instructions of Guru as is and like don't put any resistance? Is there anything you can suggest, Prabhuji?
Well, I'm also in the neophyte stage, so I'll try to answer according to my understanding. Surrender doesn't mean that we have to leave everything and live in the temple. Depending on our situation, if Guru says, or the temple authority says, you live at home, take care of your children, take care of your family, and take care of your job, and whatever time you have, you just come and do whatever little service you can. So that is also surrender. There is no competition in bhakti. There is no competition in surrender, so-called surrender. We have to see inside how much I am being faithful to the instructions of my Guru. We make mistakes. We all do. This is one of the qualities of Kali Yuga. But if we carry on, we repent, we make mistakes, we repent, we carry on, and we try to surrender again. We try to follow the instructions again. Just like once, I remember Giriraj Maharaj asked Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, oh, what if we cannot follow your orders? And Prabhupada said, what do you mean you cannot follow my orders? Maharaj said, because your order is to chant 16 rounds attentively, but we cannot somehow. So what to do? Prabhupada said, well, that is because of your material conditioning from previous births. That's okay, if as long as you're sincerely trying to chant properly, attentively. So we are sincerely trying. We are struggling. We all are struggling. But as long as the sincere endeavor is there, that is what pleases Srila Prabhupada. He can see we are sincerely endeavoring, we are struggling, but still trying. That's what he wants to see. It's not like we're going to become very, very perfect and then we're going to say, now I'm going to preach or do other services. No. Well, serving, but still struggling, sincerely trying, endeavoring, that's good enough. Of course, that doesn't mean we just give up hope that I'll not make any advancement. We will make advancement by the mercy of Guru. I hope that is clear.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Vanta. So, I guess we should stop here. It's 9 a.m. already. So, thank you all very much. Please go on with your day-to-day activities, daily activities, and enjoy.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.